Hey all, welcome back. Welcome to tonight's segment. I hope you're all having a great day. Star Wars, The Acolyte, Episode 3 aired tonight. I just finished watching it. Is The Acolyte really worth the 93% certified fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes? Or is it more realistically the 27% audience score? Did Disney and Lucasfilm drive a larger wedge between us old school fans and them, and the target audience that they're really trying to capture? Yes. Star Wars has been on life support pretty much the last 8 years. Rogue One was their last, I would say, big screen success that was worth the watch. Andor, the first 2 years of The Mandalorian. Fantastic. Some of the animated stuff still has been able to maintain itself. But otherwise, all the other streaming shows, live action, and of course, Last Jedi and Solo Story and Rise of Skywalker. Awful. It's like watching fan fiction. But The Acolyte. One thing I will appreciate about tonight's episode is them providing context of the origins of May and Osha. May and Osha were born of a pair of mothers. One mother, the coven leader of these witches, manipulated the Force, or manipulated the midichlorians into producing life. Sound familiar? You know, I heard that somewhere before. It's like it happened somewhere else. Now, they're trying to market this series as inclusive. I mean, we saw that. You know, you have a 300-pound Jedi in the last episode. Well, in episode 2. And that's been getting a lot of memes and jokes online as well. It's nothing against the actor himself. He got work. He got paid for it. Good for him. But unfortunately for him, the only reason he was hired is because of the way he looked. Because he was heavy. But that's not the purpose of today's segment. So yes, May and Osha, 2 beautiful black girls, birthed by, well, lesbians that manipulated the Force to create life. It's a mixed family, a Zabrak mother and a black human mother. So it was kind enough to go interspecies as well. Now, when I talk about how the one mother influenced the midichlorians to create life and the other to give birth to these twins, they form a dyad in the Force. Wait, I heard that somewhere before too. Ben Solo and Rey? That was in one of the movies, I think. I don't know. Luke and Leia. Yeah, another dyad. Yep. So anyway, these two influenced midichlorian birthed twins. Does it remind you of a story that you might have heard once before too? I want you to listen to something. All of you here that are either subscribed or not, or know me, know that I've lived, eaten, breathed Star Wars my whole life. And today I'm sitting in the office and I'm talking to my coworker. And I'm listening to at the time I'm listening to all the different talking heads, the reviewers, the critics. And it occurred to me. I figured it out. I figured out the series. Think about what happened in tonight's episode. And then remember this.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend.
Oh.
Darth Plagueis,
How wise
the
was he?
Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life.
Wait a minute. These two girls were born fatherless with two mothers. And this witch was so powerful, she was able to convince the midichlorians to create life. But he's talking about Darth Plagueis. He was so powerful. Well, see, this is where it changes. The YouTube critics, even in some magazine interviews, the Acolyte series is touted as the gayest Star Wars yet. Now, the series takes place 100 years prior to The Phantom Menace. Chancellor Palpatine in this was in his already 60s. So he wasn't born yet. But his master and his master's master may have been. We know that Darth Plagueis the Wise is canon. It was never confirmed Darth Plagueis' race or species. Now, we all know that the dark side is a pathway to what some would call, unnatural. In tonight's episode, Osha and May's mother tells us that the Jedi do not like their kind, and it is very hard for them to find a life in the galaxy because the things that they can do by the Jedi are considered unnatural. Now, in this, we know that Osha leaves and joins the Jedi. May, left alone, who made her ascension and took the oath to protect the Coven's secrets. And one of those secrets would be the power and the ability to influence the midichlorians to create life. And Darth Plagueis was so powerful. How powerful was he, Chancellor?
He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. Even after today, how May killed her entire coven. She gains all the knowledge that is there at her home. The secrets of her coven. The teachings. So as she ages, she learns. She knows that there is a step that she must take. First, to become an acolyte of the Sith. And then as a Sith, she would grow. That would give her 40 or so years. That would put her in her 60s when Palpatine was born. Depending on when Palpatine was discovered as a Force sensitive and was brought on to train under Darth Plagueis. Would determine, of course, how old Chancellor Palpatine would be. So tonight, I'm telling you firsthand, I've solved this series. They're not going to break canon. May is Darth Plagueis the Wise. But Tony, how is that possible? May is a female. This is where you're wrong. In order for this Acolyte series to be the gayest Star Wars ever, Chancellor Palpatine is actually just being progressive here. May, after she becomes Darth Plagueis, the Wise, identifies as a trans male. Therefore, her pronoun would be he, him, or his. Chancellor Palpatine is just being progressive and respecting his master's pronouns. I have just discovered the secret Sith. But tell me what you think. I want to know. Leave it below. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next week's freaking Acolyte train wreck, the gayest Star Wars yet. And I bet you they're going to freaking do this. I swear to you, and you have no idea how hard it was to keep a straight freaking face when I came up with this stupid theory. I'm telling you, May's going to end up being Darth Plagueis. Watch. Darth Plagueis is his trans male. There you go. Happy Star Wars. Fuck you, Disney.